If you're over 60 and you've noticed your legs don't feel as strong as they used to, this may be the most important message you hear all week because what I'm about to tell you has nothing to do with exercise, nothing to do with motivation, and nothing to do with just getting older. In fact, it may be sitting on your kitchen counter right now. In the next few minutes, I'm going to reveal how certain fruits you've been told your whole life are healthy, may be quietly weakening your legs, draining your strength, and increasing your risk of falls. And once you understand why, you'll know exactly what to stop eating and what to change starting today. Let me promise you something right away. This is not about fear. This is about control. Because when seniors fix this one hidden dietary mistake, many notice stronger legs, steadier balance, and more confidence walking, sometimes in just a few weeks. Not because the body suddenly got younger, but because it stopped being sabotaged. I'm Dr. Nereta, and I work with seniors every day who tell me the same thing in different ways. My legs feel heavy, I get tired faster, I'm afraid of falling. And almost every time they add, but I eat healthy, I eat fruit. That last sentence is where the story always begins. Here's what most people don't realize: the fruits available today are not the same fruits your parents ate. They're larger, sweeter, higher in sugar, and designed for taste, not muscle health. And after 60, your body processes sugar very differently than it used to. Muscles become more sensitive to insulin. Nerves recover more slowly. Blood sugar swings hit harder and last longer. That combination directly affects leg strength, balance, and endurance. Before I tell you which fruits are the worst offenders, I want to tell you about a patient named Margaret. She was 71, independent, sharp, and proud of her diet. Every morning, she made a large fruit bowl: bananas, grapes, pineapple, mango. She said it made her feel clean and healthy. But by early afternoon, her legs felt weak. She avoided stairs. She held on to furniture when walking at home. She assumed this was aging. It wasn't. When we changed only her fruit choices, nothing else, her leg strength and energy improved enough that her family noticed. That's why this matters. Let's talk about the first fruit seniors need to seriously reconsider: bananas. Bananas are often recommended for seniors because of potassium. But what almost no one mentions is how high they are in fast acting sugar. One medium banana can spike blood sugar quickly, especially when eaten alone. In younger bodies, insulin clears that sugar efficiently. In older bodies, insulin stays elevated longer, and high insulin blocks muscle repair. Over time, this accelerates muscle loss, especially in the thighs and hips, the exact muscles you rely on to stand up, climb stairs, and prevent falls. There's another issue with bananas that rarely gets discussed. Too much potassium without proper balance can interfere with nerve signaling. Seniors who eat bananas daily often report leg cramps, heaviness, or a dead feeling in the legs later in the day. They never suspect the fruit. They assume it's circulation or arthritis. In many cases, it's neither. The second fruit that causes quiet damage is grapes. Grapes seem harmless because they're small. That's the trap. Grapes are essentially tiny packets of sugar with very little fiber to slow absorption. It's incredibly easy to eat far more sugar than your muscles can handle. A small bowl of grapes can raise blood sugar faster than a dessert, triggering fatigue and muscle weakness soon after. Seniors often tell me they feel shaky or tired after eating grapes, but never connect it to leg strength. The third fruit is mango. Mango is one of the highest sugar fruits available, and it's often eaten in smoothies. Smoothies are especially problematic for seniors because blending destroys the fruit structure, making sugar absorb even faster. When mango sugar floods the bloodstream, it increases inflammation. Inflammation interferes with muscle repair and nerve function. Over time, this contributes to loss of strength in the hips and upper legs, which are critical for balance. Now, here's where people get uncomfortable because the fourth fruit is often considered anti-inflammatory: pineapple. Pineapple does contain enzymes that can help digestion in small amounts, but it's also extremely acidic and high in sugar. In seniors, frequent pineapple consumption can irritate joints and connective tissue while spiking insulin. Many people experience knee discomfort or leg soreness and blame arthritis, never realizing their daily pineapple habit may be contributing. The fifth fruit is watermelon. Watermelon feels light and refreshing, especially in warm weather, but nutritionally, it's mostly sugar and water with very little fiber. That means blood sugar rises quickly and falls just as fast. These swings deprive leg muscles of steady energy. On top of that, watermelon has a high glycemic load, which over time worsens insulin resistance. Poor insulin control affects circulation, especially to the lower legs and feet, making muscles weaker and slower to respond. At this point, many seniors start thinking, so what am I supposed to eat? No fruit at all? And this is where I want you to stay with me because the goal is not to remove fruit completely. The goal is to stop eating fruit in a way that actively works against your legs. Before we get to what to eat instead, we need to talk about the sixth major problem: dried fruit. Raisins, dried cranberries, dried mango, these are some of the most misleading foods in the senior diet. When fruit is dried, the sugar becomes highly concentrated. There's almost no water left to slow absorption. A small handful can deliver the same sugar load as candy. Seniors often snack on dried fruit thinking it's a natural choice, but what it does to blood sugar and muscle metabolism is anything but gentle. The seventh fruit, and this one surprises almost everyone, is fruit juice. Even 100% juice, apple juice, orange juice, grape juice, removes fiber completely, leaving pure sugar. For seniors, this leads to rapid blood sugar spikes followed by energy crashes. Many people drink juice in the morning and wonder why their legs feel heavy or weak by midday. The connection is rarely made. Now, here's the open loop I want you to hold on to. If these fruits are weakening your legs, why do some fruits help protect strength? And why do some seniors eat fruit and stay strong while others decline quickly? The answer isn't willpower, it's strategy. After 60, muscle tissue becomes less responsive to protein and more sensitive to insulin. This means sugar has a bigger impact on muscle breakdown than it used to. Repeated sugar spikes signal the body to store energy instead of repairing muscle. Over time, this leads to sarcopenia, age-related muscle loss. Sarcopenia doesn't just affect strength, it affects balance, reaction time, and confidence walking. Here's the hopeful part. Sarcopenia is not inevitable. It is strongly influenced by diet. When seniors remove foods that spike insulin and inflammation, including the wrong fruits, muscles often respond surprisingly well. Strength improves not because you worked harder, but because you stopped interfering with recovery. That's why I don't want you to think of fruit as automatically good or bad. I want you to think of fruit as a tool. Used incorrectly, it weakens your legs. Used correctly, it supports circulation, nerves, and muscle repair. Now let's talk about what seniors should eat instead and how to eat fruit the right way. The first principle that changes everything is this: seniors should almost never eat fruit by itself. Fruit alone hits the bloodstream too fast. Sugar rises quickly, insulin surges, and muscle repair shuts down. But when fruit is eaten with protein or healthy fat, sugar absorption slows dramatically. Insulin stays lower, and muscles are protected. The same fruit that weakens your legs on its own can support them when eaten correctly. This is why so much traditional nutrition advice fails seniors. It ignores timing and pairing. It assumes a 65-year-old body reacts the same way a 35-year-old body does. It doesn't. Let me tell you about Robert, 74 years old. He said, "I don't understand why my legs give out halfway through the day." When we looked at his diet, the issue became obvious. Every morning he drank a fruit smoothie, banana mango juice, and yogurt. He thought he was starting his day healthy. In reality, he was flooding his system with sugar before his muscles had any protection. We removed the smoothie, added eggs and vegetables in the morning, and moved a small portion of fruit to later in the day paired with protein. Within weeks, his endurance improved. He didn't exercise more. He didn't lose weight. He simply stopped feeding muscle loss. Now, let's talk about safer fruits. Berries are at the top of the list: blueberries, raspberries, blackberries, strawberries. They have less sugar and more fiber, and they support circulation and nerve health. Green apples are another good option, especially when eaten with nut butter or yogurt. Kiwi in moderation can support digestion and circulation. Citrus fruits like oranges can be okay in small portions, but always whole, not juice, and always paired with protein. Here's the most important rule. Fruit should almost always be eaten after a meal, not before and not alone. And not when you eat fruit after protein and fat, your blood sugar response is significantly lower. That means less insulin, less muscle breakdown, and more stable energy. This single rule explains why some seniors eat fruit their whole lives and stay strong, while others decline rapidly. It's not just the fruit, it's how and when it's eaten. Also, quantity matters. Seniors do not need large portions of fruit. One serving per day is usually enough. More than that often works against muscle preservation. At this point, I want you to reflect. How do your legs feel throughout the day? Do they feel strong in the morning but weak by afternoon? Do you feel heavy or unsteady after eating certain foods? These are not random sensations, they are feedback. Your body is telling you what helps and what harms. Here's a simple test. For 2 weeks, remove bananas, grapes, mango, pineapple, watermelon, dried fruit, and juice. Replace them with small portions of berries or green apples. Always pair them with protein. Always eat them after meals. Do nothing else differently. Just observe. Many seniors are shocked by what happens. Legs feel lighter. Standing feels easier. Balance improves. Confidence returns. Not because of magic, but because muscle tissue is finally allowed to repair. Weak legs are not a character flaw. They are often the result of outdated nutrition advice applied to an aging body. When you change the input, the output changes. And remember, leg strength is not just about mobility, it's about independence. It's about being able to move through your life without fear. So here's my question for you. Which fruit do you eat most often right now? And are you willing to pause it for just 2 weeks to see how your legs feel? Because sometimes the fastest way to get stronger isn't adding something new, it's removing what's been quietly holding you back.